Thank you very much for joining this female influencer fireside chat. Again, like I said in Las Vegas, without fire for safety reasons. But we are on fire. I hope you are too. And I could not be happier because it's getting crowded on the stage. And that's one of the reasons why we are doing these panels, is to shine the light on female influencers in our ecosystem. Because sometimes people say there are no women in tech. And so we are proving them wrong. And it's also nice to see many women in tech in the audience, and also a few guys who are supporting. That's great too. Thank you for coming, everyone. My name is Malin Lidén. I'm Vice President of Marketing at SAP, and I started this format last year at TechEd Las Vegas and Barcelona, and it's very quickly becoming the highlight of these events for me. I'm really excited to have these actually, Lucia gave me the permission to say badass. We have badass women on this panel. And I'd like to just ask everyone to introduce themselves, but also to share what was their biggest highlight from today. Because another reason why we are doing these panels is because every TechEd has so much of content. It's not possible for anyone to digest everything, to go everywhere. You always feel like you're going home and you've missed something really nice that you should have done or seen. So we want to tap into this network of influencers to learn from them what was your highlight and what you recommend that people take a look at. So let's start with you, Sindhu.
Sure, Malin. First of all, thank you for having me again here. It's great to be here. My name is Sindhu Gangadharan, and I head up the topic of integration in the Office of the CTO. And I'm also leading the program for the Intelligent Enterprise at SAP. You asked me about what was the highlight for today, right? For me personally, the highlight was indeed the keynote, and particularly in that, I think Eliza, the youngest astronaut, was the top highlight for me. I have two young girls, 12 and 9, and for me it was like, oh my God, she's just 17, and just so amazing to see what today's young generation can do. So much of power from her that I'll take back to my little ones back home.
So my name is Anne Petro. I'm an old community member, also a SAP mentor, based in Denmark, developer. My highlight of the day was the keynote as well, both for being allowed to be on the stage and doing a demo. And I got to spend quite a lot of time with the astronaut backstage, and she's just the awesomest 17-year-old girl I've ever met. So passionate about what she does. So I'm always like, if I can just take a little bit of the passion that she has with me, then that's great. Yeah.
Okay, so hi, my name is Jana Östringer. I'm a senior support engineer at SAP Digital Business Services, and I help our customers improve their running SAP solutions. So now that you already stole my highlight from this morning, I think my highlight is actually right now, being here with you, all of you who've been on this morning's keynote doing great presentations. I just listened to your speeches at the theater, so it's an honor to be here with you.
Yeah, my name is Jana Richter. I'm heading the product management organization for SAP Cloud Platform Core. So, of course, keynote was one of the highlights as well, both from a heartbeat as well as from the content and everything working smoothly. I think the other highlight was that we're working very closely with the SAP mentors, and we had a really great discussion in one of the work streams, which is around cloud-native development, and where we discussed specifically the consumption-based pricing model and how this is planned to evolve.
Hi, my name is Katharina Schell, and I am development manager in the HANA Core development team and leading there the SQL script team. My highlight was today actually that I had the first code review session here and was also well visited, and I really like to having the common patterns, sharing this with the developers here and giving their new ideas of how they can improve their code.
Hi, my name is Karin Tillotson. I'm an SAP mentor, and my specialty is archiving and information lifecycle management. I have a couple highlights. I love seeing, it's been now a couple years, seeing the women up on stage during the keynote. We have 3 of them right here, 3 rock stars in this panel right now. And then I also got to stop by the SAP Runs SAP station and tested out the virtual reality virtual reality station. And it made me kind of think on what technology, what uses businesses could have for virtual reality and augmented reality, and plus that female astronaut rocked too.
Hi, my name is Lucia Subetin. I'm a developer advocate at the Global Developer Relations team. And you already told everybody my highlights there. And it's, of course, a pleasure to be here. So thank you for having me. So the highlight that I have after all of what you have already mentioned is being here at the Developer Garage and having people engaging and asking us and looking, being hungry to have a hands-on experience. In my case, on HANA running on Google Kubernetes Engine, which is a hot topic. So it was really nice to engage and to get a lot of questions today.
Great. Well, thank you, everyone. So we have to talk about the keynote since we have almost 50% of the panelists here were on stage. We're only missing Björn. So how about that for a quality statement of the panel? And Sindhu, you were on stage talking about unified experience end-to-end when you were hiring an astronaut. So maybe you can talk a little bit about what the significance is with that announcement for customers. But we also, of course, all want to know if Björn got the job. And more importantly, who is going to be the SAP CTO if he gets the job?
Well, not that we start any rumors here. I think Björn made it very clear at the end that he's not going to become an astronaut in the end. He's going to stay CTO for SAP. Right. So now that we can move. Well, we talked about unified experience, and I think the example that we chose, the total workforce, is an example. The reason we picked that example is because everybody can relate to it, right? It's a process that almost every organization out there lives in some way or the other. And each of us as employees of an organization also live it. And I think, so it was easy to get across the message of what an intelligent enterprise framework can help do for us to take a process like total workforce and transform it completely. And so there were multiple areas of what we talked about. One is how we are infusing intelligence across those departments. In this particular case, it was taking finance and HR and procurement as well and infusing intelligence. It was about integrated, seamless integration across that process. And the third thing is a unified experience. Why? Because even if we infuse as much as intelligence, if you don't give a consistent experience, then you lose the user. And I think all of us sitting, say, doing our goal planning or planning for your teams, you want to make sure that it's a delightful experience. And so for us, as a key piece of everything that we do around the intelligent enterprise, these are the three pillars that we focus on, right? So intelligence across every application, across applications, it's integration consistently, and a unified experience to top it all. And I think we do that across each of the processes that we now take as part of the intelligent enterprise framework.
Great, very nice. Anyone else wants to comment on the unified experience? Otherwise, we will move on to search for insights. I really like the search for insights because it felt so easy to drill down and find the root causes of performance, changes in performance, and more importantly, to be able to do something about it. And when you showed it on the stage, it felt like Google to me. Are we becoming the Google of the intelligent enterprise? Who wants to comment on that one?
Well, I may say something obvious, but yeah, I think we are, and it all started actually with having the technical possibilities of doing so. So I was thinking about having a business integration, and you can only do that if you have the proper tools and the underlying tools, which of course is HANA, right? So you no longer have to mix and match data from different places and different modules that is stored in different methods. You're talking to a single source of truth, and that of course allows you to do that integration, and because technologically it's available, you can do that drill down in that search. I couldn't help but going into the technical piece of it and then thinking that it's all related, right?
Maybe as what I find so amazing about this, so I'm kind of a big fan of Analytics Cloud since a couple of years. And at least when I started working with that, one of the obvious questions was around SAP HANA. You have a lot of data in there, in memory, computing, whatever, but what do you do with that, right? So, and at the beginning, I always used Analytics Cloud to create some dashboards to get some meaning out of the data. But now, looking over the years, it became even more meaningful that you then add APL libraries from HANA that give you some predictive insights into that you can do some forecasting and some magic on top of the numbers. And now you don't even have to already model the charts and already see, can we then apply some algorithms to do some forecasting, but you can say, I have a data set, and then ask a question around that, more or less freestyle, right? And see where that leads you to. Realistically, of course, here and there, you might have to ask the right question, and sometimes you need a couple of ways to see what's happening, right? But it's such an evolution from having the raw data to just visualizing it, to then applying algorithms, to get some forecasting around that, and now the next step to even have machine learning in that gives you correlations, that answers questions. So that's such an evolution in just a few years, right? So that's why I'm totally amazed and fan of this tool, right?
All right, so there was another demo that I really liked. I liked all of them. But the one that showed the third-party integration, that to me felt like we're making it easier even for business users to take advantage of some of the opportunities that we have with technology. Would you agree that that is true?
Absolutely. I think, first of all, acknowledging that we are open to non-SAP, that's fundamental, right? I think we've always been that way, but now we make that step forward by bringing the open connectors that you refer to. And indeed, for business users, they don't want to get into every nitty-gritty details of every aspect, but they just want to use the technology to help support them in what they're doing. And this is exactly what we tried our best to demonstrate out there, that with open connectors, we're open to connect to any kind of application that could exist out there. And then using the content advisor to be able to use crowdsourcing and machine learning to actually propose the best fit. And what we have done is, instead of getting 10 business users around the table and trying to understand how the business semantics of SAP work with the business semantics of, in that particular case, we just picked QuickBooks, but it can be anything else. You bring that knowledge into the core of your technology, and the technologies are all advanced today with machine learning, and also in the cloud, we can also bring together the data in a way, anonymize it, index it, so that you can traverse through those data streams and come up with those proposals. So absolutely, integration is not anymore only for those integration experts. We give the power to all kinds of personas, be it citizen integrators, business users, business analysts, or application developers who can use it. Yeah.
I have something to add, if that's
Sure.
all right. So when you asked that question, it made me think the younger generation coming into the workforce, those younger business users are already, technology savvy. What about people that have been in tech for, I won't talk about me, like since the 80s. Like what, kind of made me think, what advice could we give those more mature business users to kind of catch up and get up to speed as the younger generation?
Great, very good. Anyone else wants to comment on that? No? In that case, maybe let's move to Björn's rallying cry. He was talking about keeping the core data clean. And I was following the Twitter feed because someone said, oh, the audience was a little bit quiet, maybe because they know they have homework to do, that there is some cleaning up to do. And so I was wondering how you feel about that. Anytime there is an opportunity, there is often a little bit of baggage. So is there some baggage here that companies need to address and sort out? And what do they have to do in order to be able to take advantage of this opportunity?
So Marlene, we had a brief chat about that before the session. So I work with customers on an operational basis, trying to help them identify where do they have old and obsolete master data or configuration or old and obsolete business documents in their system that hinder the full potential of the solutions that they have. And all of the customers that I've been working with in the past couple of years, they do have a significant amount of cleanup potential there. So when I show them where they have the potential, they look at me and they first go, "Oh my God, we have work to do." But we've also discussed this, that doing that work can give them a competitive advantage. It can help them be better than the competition, have that really cleaned up system. And I think we talked about cleaning up our garage at home. So it's a big step getting started, but once you've done it, you feel really good about it, and it's so much easier for you finding what you need.
I think it is going to be a big job for those customers that have been live for like 20 years. There's a lot of different versions of this of the truth that they have, and no, it is going to, but it's necessary. They do need to do it, and I think it will be a lot better for their business once they've completed it.
And perhaps it feels good also to know that you're not alone, which also means that if you actually do get ahead of the game, it's also a competitive advantage. No, it's a challenge that a lot of companies are sharing. So if you're a first mover, it gives you an advantage. Did you want to add anything to?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, as a small comment, it's not just a challenge, right? I mean, I see a lot of customers that actually want to go this step, and where it's pretty clear there's stuff in there, and I'm not just talking about documents, but even coding that someone put there in the 70s because this was the system they had at hand. And then it grew over 30 years, and whatever happened with this coding, it never really belonged into the ERP system. It just found its way into it, right? And if you then do steps like moving to S4HANA, doing the whole digitalization story, you want to probably leverage at least the chance to say, if we have a new project, let's not do the mistakes that we did 30 years ago. Put them on the right pace, in the right environment. There's of course cases where you still do this in your suite systems or in S4HANA, but there's cases where you do it in the cloud. Iterate quickly and connect this to your intelligence systems, right? And then of course the next steps to say, when we move to S4HANA, when we anyways have to work with implementing business partners, cleaning out coding, then of course it's an opportunity to take this step as well at your own pace, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunities there. Of course there's a challenge and baggage around that, but I think we have now so many things together, and specifically the need to iterate quicker, to bring out new ideas to the market very quickly, and to do this in cloud platform with all the services associated is a huge opportunity.
SAP actually also has a great kind of hidden tool, a little bit. It's hidden in Activate, and it's called Fit to Standard. Yes, I keep bringing it up because it's a good way for the business to become aware of the challenges that they might have, not just with the data but also the processes, and the tools are often connected. And I just feel like if you do the Fit to Standard and you get the business and the technology to talk together and try to figure out like, why do we have it here in the first place, and do we really need it, I think the results will be so much better. So, yes.
Actually, I wanted to add, as you said, with the old coding, the customers we are facing this especially also with SQL Script, because to leverage also performance from the HANA, there's also this in the, with regards to code push down, and they also have to think about how we can really gain from that, and they also have to look in their coding, which is pretty old, and they also have to, the really hardest thing is there to make sure that after they did the move, everything is working as before. So you need tests and all that stuff, and sometimes you do not have all the tests that really covers all the functions there. So it's really pretty hard as well to do so, and we really seeing this a lot then with SQL Script if they have to do change everything, and yeah.
So maybe from my side, one remark to what you've just said. I think we as SAP, we've recognized that challenge our customers have, and we not only have one tool, but we probably have a whole set of tools and a whole set of service offerings. Just look at the different learning journeys that we have, but there is things where we support our customers in that transition to help them get to that competitive advantage, right?
Great. So intelligent robots. That's a really cool part of the keynote, I thought. And it really gives me dreams in my head. I saw you were doing a repetitive task, you were recording it, and next time, voila, a robot can do it for you. So whoever at SAP is working on the development of Concur, my dream is to have the travel expenses done that way. Maybe I'm lucky. But I wanted to ask all of you what you see in the future, because obviously there is an element to that. You can automate some things, but what share do you think is realistic? I mean, just in your mind, what do you think we can automate in the future, and what do you think that people will focus on instead? Because that frees up capacity, that's the whole point, for us to do things that only humans can do.
Well, I think if, as more and more robots becoming, and they'll take over some of the regular day-to-day tasks like vacuuming and mowing the lawn and things like that, you'll have more time to actually enjoy life. You'll have more time to have pastimes, read a book, go for a walk. You don't have to be, cleaning, or there's even I've been seeing a robot that can clean windows. I mean, so yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And I think, not just the free time, right? But even at work, to be honest, the things that I'm usually fed up with is exactly ordering equipment, finding in that catalog that thing that meets my requirements to do a daily, booking travels, reimbursing the travels, approving whatever kind of requests from team members that then end up in the different environments and that need different criteria to be checked and whatever. So the more can be automated. I think a lot of things are already automated compared to in the past, people entering their vacation requests via paper and sending it and you having to check it or whatever, right? So a lot of things happened already, but there's still room to have those awkward processes that nobody really loves to take care about, to just do them in one click and just say, yeah, exactly, that's what I want, confirm. And then you have time for the really creative processes that add value, where at the end of the week you say, look, this is what we achieved, right? So at the end of the week, I'm not proud if I approve vacation requests and order the laptop. But I think it's pretty cool if we created presentations, brought forward a new product, defined new usage scenarios, right? So really the things that boost productivity and that move the business a step further.
And I think to add to what you said, if the more we can free up our brain power, I think there's a larger purpose that we can focus on, right? And SAP being a purpose-driven company, I think for us, this is also helping other companies as well to make sure that their employees and their very critical resources, nowadays it's so tough to get the right people for the right with the right skills, and you want to use their brain power to solve bigger problems and bigger goals that we think can help even our world run better, right? So I love this example of using technology to solve logging in the rainforest, because that's something that helps the world become a better place. And I think the more we can solve these kind of repetitive tasks with robots, we can use our brain power to solve the bigger problems of the world. And I think that's the beauty of it, that we don't need to spend 50% of our time, like Jana said, doing the things that we have to do because we can't automate it. But now the power of that, think through it in the larger context, and I'm totally fascinated with that.
That's fantastic. So we can do more of the things that we're excited about. Yeah. How about that? I think that's a good tweet if anyone is on Twitter. Last but not least, we are moving towards the end of the session. Time always flies in this company. We have 2 more days at TechEd. What should people not miss? What can they not leave TechEd without having seen or done? What's your top tip? Do you want to start, Lucia?
I would start with a shameless plug about my session tomorrow on HANA as a Service, but I won't do that. I'm just putting it out there. I wouldn't miss the chance to talk to the experts, the makers of the product, the people who are here and are generally thinking about how to make better products, and give them feedback and learn from them and ask the proper questions. Even if it's just taking a picture of their badge and adding them on LinkedIn, you never know when you're going to be in trouble and you might want to get in touch, right?
Yeah, and to add on to not just the product managers, to network. That's one of the big pluses of face-to-face events. Go out there and meet people. and just start talking to them. And more than likely, I mean, you already have one thing in common, your SAP. So there's obviously going to be more than one topic that you have in common.
I mean, of course, for me, it was also my sessions. We have tomorrow and the SQL script session. So if you really would like to learn SQL script, we have a 4-hour hands-on session. So you're happy to join. But beside this, I also would really recommend to go, of course, visit the show floor, but especially also, I was today at the SAP Experience area, I think it's the name, and there was really interesting. There was just how Team Liquid, it's a Team Liquid, it's a team for esports who are playing the Dota game, who they really can leverage from the SAP Analytics to really get more about the games, about the plays they had there, to really get to better know the other teams, so how they can defend against them. So it was pretty interesting. And there were also even more demos there. It's really good to see this.
Now that you took my point of networking, the other thing I would always recommend at TechEd is really going into the hands-on sessions. Specifically, if you don't just have a speaker pass, but an attendee pass, I think the hands-ons are really the cool part, right? So specifically from product management and development, we really put together there a lot of sessions with scripts where in 2 hours you get the chance to just touch the latest products, touch the latest features, services out there, and get an idea how to leverage them, how to use them, and in this context, speak with the experts here on site. So I think the hands-ons, in addition to the tutorials in the developer garage, are really, isn't it? I would always touch the products and not just see the presentations. Those are good as well, but probably there's replays. But here on site, I would always touch the product.
Yeah. That's great. I recommend coming back here to the Code Review Theater because obviously you want to see the panel tomorrow as well. It gives you a summary of the day, the best of TechEd Day 2. What could be better? So that's my tip. Sindhu?
Besides everything that was said, so that means you have to go to everything. But but I think what I also liked are those lightning talks. These are 20-minute talks on a subject, and also the strategy talks. I just did mine sometime back at 3. It's short, it's 20 minutes. So if you're running out of time but still are interested in a topic and just want to get a gist of what SAP is doing and what are they going to focus on moving forward, then go to those strategy talks. And then if you're really interested, go to the hands-on, right? Then you know where the product is heading. So that's what I would recommend.
So I am, of course, a fan of the Developer Garage. I do like the tutorials there because you can do it in your own speed. You're not rushed by a session that ends in 20 minutes. And there is also help, so you can get help if you're stuck with the tutorials. I've also really loved the roadmap sessions. They're short and they give you like a quick overview of where SAP is heading, and you also have the opportunity to ask the SAP, it's usually the product managers who are there, if there's a specific topic that's close to you and what you're doing. And then, of course, all the ABAP environment talks.
Okay then, so probably one last remark from my side, maybe from personal experience. When I came here, I had this whole agenda with all the sessions I wanted to attend and take back home to my team. And then this afternoon, Marlene sent an email about one of her sessions that I really didn't have on my agenda, so I made the time to go there. And I found the session really inspiring. It wasn't something that's directly related to my work, it wasn't something that I needed to bring home to my team, but something inspiring and something different. So maybe also make room for things you don't necessarily have on your agenda.
Great. Well, you just made my day. Thank you so much. And with that, we're at time. Some of us are able to stay a little bit longer. Some of us have to go to other sessions. So feel free to stay around if you want to ask questions. But I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Please come again tomorrow and bring a friend. And I'd like to thank this amazing lineup of panelists. I am so inspired by all of you. And I want to thank you for being just amazing role models for other women in tech and just showing what we can accomplish. So thank you so much for that, and enjoy TechEd Day 2 tomorrow.